guys, welcome to Clockwork Noodles. It is that time of the season once again. Can you believe it? It's come around really quickly. It doesn't seem like yesterday that I was doing my last one and telling you guys that I was struggling to crown my top 3. So hello, welcome. This is the wrap-up video. First half is going to be my wrap-up for summer 2021. I am going to crown my top 3 animes and give you my Hidden Gem Award. The Hidden Gem Award, I ended up doing 2. You should hopefully understand when I get there. So I am Clockwork Noodles. Hello, welcome. I break down anime throughout the seasons. Generally, I talk about all sorts of kind of things. I like history, love colour, I love composition, like going into colour theory and stuff. Hello, welcome if you've just found me for the first time. Welcome to the Noodle Bowl. There is a few ways where you can follow me. Mainly just subscribing to the YouTube channel. That really helps. There's also a Discord channel too that will allow you to have notifications to your phone. In this video, the second half, I'm going to go through what is coming your way for the next season. So if you're not really aware of what's coming your way, let me enlighten you to some of the really good gems that are coming your way. And there's a lot of them. And then the last half will be what is coming next on the channel. What are the next breakdowns I am releasing for you guys? What anime am I really looking forward to? And hopefully you guys will find something in that list that you'll be joining me weekly for. And if you are coming across from the previous season, thank you guys so much for your continued support. This season in general was very different from last season. I really struggled to get into most animes. I think it was a pretty dry season. There was a lot of hit and miss going on. I ended up dropping a few animes, which is very rare for me. There's only a few animes I have dropped. If you do as well want to follow me on my anime list or Mal, I will give you guys the link in the comments below. Without further ado, I think it's time to get going with our Hidden Gem Awards. And if you did watch my midway review, I don't think it's drastic, but there's certainly a lot of change going on. Most of the things I'm about to mention at least appeared somewhere, whether it was a OP or an ED. If you haven't watched that video, go check out my midway review. This is when I gave my opinion halfway through the season, my top 3 animes then, and my favourite OPs, EDs. Go check out what I thought of the OPs and EDs this season, because there were some really good songs that I really enjoyed. So without further ado, my hidden awards. So first things, I guess we'll go in alphabetical order because that makes sense, is the Aquatope on White Sands. That is an anime we did indeed break down on the channel. I picked it up quite late because I wasn't expecting anything from it. I started watching the Aquatope on White Sands, not really expecting a great deal. I mentioned it in my breakdown video. I told you guys I'd watch it on my own time. I am a huge slice of life fan. The Aquatope on White Sands has been absolute pleasure to break down. Every single episode has been movie quality as a slice of life. The pace is very good. It looks good. It sounds good. There is a lot of details in this anime. The plot is actually quite intriguing. This one does continue to next season. I am putting it lower than the next one. It is a great anime. I really do recommend this anime entirely. And if you are interested and you do get into it, you can check out my breakdowns for it. It's all about finding yourselves. People who are slightly older might also be able to relate to it just because you've had a bit longer to experience the idea of rejection or failing. It's definitely a great anime for those who have experienced a bit more on the negative side of what life can sometimes throw at us. And now talking about essentially the negative side of life, it is coming to my ultimate hidden gem. I wanted to put this on my top 3, and to be fair, depending on how it ends, it could be tied with 3rd place. This is Uramichi Oni-san. I love this anime, guys. This is really good stuff. And I know a few of you guys were asking if I was watching it. Yes, I was watching it. I wasn't breaking it down, which really sucked because I really wanted to. By the time I really got into it and realised what I was onto, it was a bit too late and the schedule was already messed up enough as it was. This is such a good anime. And if you are a Levi fan from Attack on Titan, it's Levi. It's his voice. He is a depressed middle-aged guy who is working as a kids entertainer. And it's hilarious. If you hate your job, or if you've ever been in a job where you've been treated unfairly, or just a job that you've done day in, day out, and you've had to deal with unfair requests and things, this is the anime for you because it is hilarious. This is probably the top comedy of the season for me. I cried, I have laughed. It's been very real at times. I can relate to the characters because I'm slightly older as well. It's a very realistic anime. I've never seen an anime so realistic and so funny at the same time. It covers a huge range of things, workplaces and dealing with weird colleagues, and then also dealing with people around you, feeling a bit left out, feeling like you're slipping behind whilst everyone else in front of you seemingly making progress in their adult lives. It goes through everything. Really do think that you really need to check this out. So if you do get a chance, whilst we are swapping seasons, you've got about a week before some of the new anime starts to air, check this anime out. I really guarantee if you like any of the things, or if you like the sound of what I've just said, you will love this anime. This anime is a great chance to just laugh at life. Really good anime. Thoroughly recommend it. I am so happy I watched it. So let's go on to the main three. In third position, Kageki Shoujo. And this is Opera Girl. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. I am a huge drama theatre fan. This anime had my attention right off the bat. I loved it. And it's also got some of the more realistic struggles to what it's like to be in a very competitive business that is musical theatre. A theatre school of females who go through a lot. And it covers things like bullying. It covers probably one of the more realistic portrayals of things like sexual abuse as well. Maybe that might sound a bit too heavy to you guys, but it is really done well. And I fell in love with our main character quite quickly. Her bed hair is absolutely amazing. It covers a lot of those more sensitive topics. It is fun. It sounds great as well. There's a lot of really good voice actors involved in this one. Is really good. It really covers those real topics. I guess the three animes I've mentioned so far all deal with real life in a sense. They're all something that picks an element of real life and they build upon it. This is a really good anime. I definitely recommend you check it out. It also made one of the top OP lists. I think it was an OP in the midway review. In second position is the case study of Vanitas. Really enjoyed it, and I think a few of you guessed it would probably make the list somewhere. It did very, very well at the midway review. I like this anime. This anime is doing very well at giving a very good atmosphere. It's got a lot of world building going on. There's a lot of lore going on. Bit biased because I love Pandora Hearts and I also like this. But there is a lot going on with a slight historical anime like this that really appeals to my inner historian. I think it's a really good anime. It's had some really nice surprises, some nice pace changes going on, and things are starting to heat up. Fantastic news that there is indeed a second core. It's not immediately. It's a really good anime nonetheless. I've really had fun with it. I've loved the costumes. I've got some potential cosplays on the list now thanks to this anime. And that's generally how you know that I really like something, because I'll find something I want to make from it. I absolutely adore this anime. In first position, To Your Eternity. Absolutely, it had to be To Your Eternity. And I know this isn't everyone's top anime because it's too depressing. This anime for me, episode 1, episode 20, 10 out of 10. I don't rank 10s very often. I've barely given them out on Mal. You can go check yourselves. Most things end up with a 9 if I really, really like them. Very, very rare that I give 10. Episode 1, episode 20, perfect. I couldn't really make those episodes anything more. Everything works. The music tells the story. It picks up. We have a narrator and it works. I know that was a big thing for people not liking it. You need a narrator in a story like this. This anime is a story of life, a story of learning. Again, I think a lot of the animes this season that are on my list all deal with a more realistic element of life. To Your Eternity looks at the mortality of the human life. It doesn't last forever. So it looks at that element, and obviously there is a lot of sorrow, a lot of crying in this anime, and I think an anime which is able to make you even feel very strong emotions like this, that's a sign of how good the writing is. And this had a stellar team behind it, a really good writing team. To Your Eternity for me is just taking the cake just because I was really invested. As I told a lot of you guys in my wrap up, I was hooked until about nearly the end. I think the last arc probably lost me a little bit. But at the same time, we were still talking 6.5 to 7 on the scale of ranking. It was a really good anime. And you've also got to take your hat off to the fact that Fushi, his MC, this is one of his first ever roles, and he did a fantastic job. And again, Kenjiro Suda, just the god he is. Fantastic role as the narrator. You've got this seasoned hardcore voice actor next to a new upcoming voice actor. It's perfect. The music tells the story. It's visually stunning. It makes you feel things. It's a really harsh journey. There's no plot armor saving the day here. Fushi dies plenty of times. I really do recommend it. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you're in a good place to watch it, because the final episode, it's one of those animes which really has one of the most realistic portrayals of old age dementia I have ever seen in an anime. So I have got absolute praises for To Your Eternity. I think it is the top anime of this season. And I know it's slightly cheating because it spanned 2 seasons. I don't think it was top last season, but I'm pretty sure it was second position for both. I think it's been in my top 3 for both seasons. I also want to give a quick nod to the Pirate Princess. This continues next season anyway, but I am going to point to my video, which is why you should be watching it. This started airing halfway through the season. If I had had my way, it would probably be on top 3. No doubt about it. Fina definitely deserves to be up there. Loving this anime to pieces. The only reason I've kind of cut it off is I just didn't think it was right just shoving it on the list. I did it without having Fina there, but my goodness, guys, this anime is amazing. It sounds amazing. It looks amazing. It has got an interesting plot. I found myself watching episode 5, which is the most recent episode, and I didn't realise it was over so soon. I was so hooked. 20 minutes just flew by. And that's how I know this anime has me. I love this anime to pieces. I would love to put it in like probably second position if I could, but we're not going to. So you have my official top 3. I don't think she's going to make next season's list just because of how much is coming out, but I would like to at least give her at least maybe the Hidden Gem Award next season. So we'll see how that goes. That is my wrap up for summer 2021. It's been a very interesting season indeed, but we've got a lot to cover, so we need to get going. And I think it's time, guys, for some new anime. I am very hyped to now bring you fall 2021. The anime I'm about to tell you in this section are the animes that is coming your way, and I'm not breaking them down on YouTube. Again, if something really grabs my attention, I might do a miniature review of them at some point. But these are the animes that are coming your way. I'm going to tell you what genres they are and when the first episode airs, so you can put it on your list if you're interested. And I'll try and give you a little bit of a very brief rundown of what the anime is about. Fall 2021, here we come. The animes that I am watching in my spare time, but you can indeed ask me about them on Discord. Happy to answer any questions and discuss and get hyped about them. First things first, what is continuing? Number 1, you already know. Fina, Pirate Princess, obviously. Absolutely love it. Continuing across. That story isn't going to end, and I'm very happy that I get to continue it into the next season. Definitely growing on me, guys. But let's do something new. Let's go for Demon Slayer Season 2. I wasn't expecting it so soon. As of recording this, I don't actually have a airing date, but Demon Slayer Season 2 continues. I am a huge Demon Slayer fan. Only just this year did I finally get to see the movie because I'm in the UK. We got it really late. You guys already spoiled it for me. I was really sad. Really, really happy to see the saga continue. It's one I watched on my own. Watched it before the magic hype when it all kicked in. It's an anime that really gripped my attention. I love the art style for it. I don't really need to do much talking about Demon Slayer. If you haven't already seen it and you are in that rare boat that you haven't watched it yet, I definitely recommend you check out Season 1 and just see how it sits with you, because I think you'll eventually find yourself getting more and more hooked in a very beautiful tale. Beautifully drawn, but it's dark. It's a nice dark tale. You've got demons, you've got people trying to fight the demons, beautiful katanas, beautiful kimonos, really nice anime, beautiful songs as well. I love the soundtrack for Demon Slayer. It's one of my favourite soundtracks of that season. I think that season it was like the top one. It was on my playlist all the time. And last but not least on the sequels, we have Let's Make a Mug number 2. I really enjoyed Let's Make a Mug. It's a short anime, so I think the episodes are like 8 minutes long. It's not a really long one. It's just cute girls doing cute things, essentially. And this time we are making mugs, pottery. We are making pots, plates, ceramics, everything. It's just a nice little slice of life. And I really found myself getting really roped into the story by the end of the first season. So very happy that I get to watch it again. That's my own little personal thing. What you'll find out about the list here is these are just things that I have got interest in, and these are going to be things that I'm watching. We would be here a very long time if I went through every single anime airing this season. There is a lot airing. So let's talk about newcomers. The first one on the list, airing on October the 6th, Komi-san wa Communisho desu, which is Komi-san cannot communicate. And this is one that everyone has been hyping. I've heard it everywhere. I was in a bookstore randomly in London last week, and a guy just saw me looking at the book and telling me about the controversy There's been controversy surrounding this one, but I am very excited that it's finally here. Komi can't communicating following I think it's a school, it's all school settings again. Somebody did say it was slice of life. Not quite sure it is, but it might just be the day-to-day life of Komi-san as we follow her experiences without the aspect of communication. So we see how she finds a way around not being able to communicate with people. This one I think is going to end up being quite heartwarming and touching. Definitely going to be an anime of learning. I know it's supposed to be a comedy, so it's also got that comedy aspect, but it does feel like it could go down a silent voice route as well and be quite touching at times. Very excited to watch Komi and see where that story takes us. Next up, okay, this anime, this is the second time I've had to tell you guys this one. Shin no nakama ya na to yosha no party vo oi asarete no de henkyao de slow life surukoto ni ishimashita. This anime was delayed, and this also airs on October the 6th, so same day as Komi. I really didn't want to say this a second time round, but I had to say it a second time round in a review because this ended up being delayed, and I said it in my last one because I was going to watch it, and now I'm saying it in this one. I thought my pain of actually having to say this one to you guys is over. This is Vanish from the hero party. I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. This is a hero who has been released from his duties of being in the heroes party, being a warrior, and he's gone to the countryside to open up a shop. It's a slice of life anime. We're going to get some shenanigans go down. It looks like it's going to be fun. I was going to watch it last season, but it got pushed back, so it made me say the title once more, and I think I slaughtered it just as bad last time as well, but it's going to be a nice one to watch, I think. Next up, airing on October the 3rd, Moroccochan. This I am so hyped for. I'm really hyped for this one. We have a normal girl living her life until one day she starts seeing horrific ghosts, ghouls, and monsters. It is Natsume Book of Friends. Well, if you like Moroccochan and you find you get on with it, go check out Natsume's Book of Friends as well, because that's one of my favourite animes of all time. A big slice of life that I'm really into. Another comedy. I think we need a comedy. I think we need a lot of comedy after the dry season we've had. Our Moroccochan is trying to pretend that she does not see these ghost ghouls because no one around her can. So we're going to follow her and the shenanigans that she gets into as she experiences life with the addition of seeing the undead, the ghosts, the ghouls, and just how funny that's going to get. I'm really excited. I like a bit of horror aspect in that as well. That's going to be an interesting one to follow for sure. Next up, we have Saihide no Paladin, which is the faraway Paladin, airing October the 9th. So this is a boy who was raised by the undead in the city of the undead. He is a single human child, and it is a journey of discovery. Who am I? And we've got a world full of evil gods, paranoia, madness, adventure, fantasy. This, I think, could be very, very interesting. It's not an isekai, it's just he's set in this world. But I think it's going to be an interesting one. And the artwork looks very, very pretty for this one. So hopefully I've got some of the art on the screen as well. Really looking forward to it, and hopefully it will give us one hell of a ride. Next up, we have Senpai ga Urasai Kohai no Hanashi, which is My Senpai is Annoying, airing October the 9th, same day as the faraway Paladin. This is a romance slice of life comedy. It's got older characters in it, and it's set in a workplace. Something a bit different again for those who are a little bit older who want to see something outside of the school setting. This is going to be an interesting one, I think. I think it could be quite funny. She's quite short, he's pretty tall, so there's probably going to be gags about this height thing as well. It could be fun. I think the last thing we had like this was Love is Hard for an Otaku. That was good. I like that one, so I'm hoping to like this one as well. Next up, we have Kyu Katsuki Suga Shina. That is October the 4th. The Vampire Who Dies in No Time. This is another comedy. It is about a vampire who literally dies at every single little thing. Obviously, vampires can't fully die, so he keeps going back. But it's going to be revolving around this, and it's set in the modern day. And we have a man who finds the Dracula's castle, and he ends up with him moving into his apartment. So it's all going to be shenanigans set in the modern day. I think Van Helsing's in it. With all of this, I don't really watch trailers. I read the blurbs, I see what they're about, and I pick my list. Right before I go into it, I'll watch maybe a trailer just to get a feel for it. This seems really exciting. I like the art style. Feels a bit Blood Lad to me, so I love Blood Lad. So if it's something like that, I think I'm going to like it. Really looking forward to having a vampire anime this season. Next up, I have Taishoottome Otogibanashi, which is October the 8th. Another romance for me. This is a historical setting, this time set in the Taisho era. We have a pessimistic man who is suddenly gifted by a surprise bride, which could be a recipe for disaster, but it seems interesting. It looks historical. The artwork is quite quaint, so hopefully I've got it on a screen. The manga have a really high rating on Mal. Very exciting to see why it's carrying such a high rating. Can't wait. Next up, something slightly different. We have Deep Insanity, The Lost Child. This is a sci-fi by Square Enix. I'm not a big fan of Square Enix's works normally, but this could be fun. We have an approaching new illness, a bit too close to home for us in the world we're in, but we have an underground asylum in Antarctica and we have a new world. It looks like it could be quite fun. It looks very pretty as well. The artwork looks very pretty. I think it was based on a game. Not quite sure, but if it's Square Enix, it's probably got a game released somewhere. Very excited to see how this one pans out. Next up, we have Tesla Note, October the 3rd. Saving the world from destruction, we have a young trained ninja who is raised as a spy to recover the legacy that was left by Tesla. So we have a spy anime and a thriller. This could be absolutely off the walls mad. I think it looks fun. Can't wait to see where it goes. I'm a big interest in Tesla. I don't think it's going to be overly historical, but it's nice to kind of touch base every now and again with the crazy guy. Some spy, a bit of action, could be fun. Next up, we have Megaton Q Musashi, October the 1st. So 90% of the world has died after an invasion. It's mech, it's sci-fi, we have pilotable madness. The school life aspect is going to be interesting. I'm not quite sure if that's going to work, but it'll be interesting. It looks good. I think it's only on the list because it looks good. I'm not generally a mech fan, but this one looks like it could be okay. So giving it a check. My guilty pleasure, of course, idol animes. We have Visual Prison coming out October the 8th. This is idol music and Visual K. I like the style of Visual K. I'd love my wardrobe to look a bit more like that. So I'm going to check it out. The artwork on this one looking really, really good as well. The fact that the clothing, it has to be at least supported or drawn by somebody who loves Visual K. It looks nice. It could be a load of rubbish. It might be, but it's going to be my guilty pleasure of the anime season. At least you guys don't have to put up with me breaking it down. That is the positive for you guys. Next up, I have Shinkanomi Shiranai Uchi ni Kashigumi Jinsei. This is a comedy isekai. Okay, my one obligatory isekai on the list. I don't like isekai, but it's on there. We have a different world. We're sent to a different world where people can turn into animals. So I'm worried that this might go down a furry route, but the artwork looks really pretty. I think as well this might be quite popular with people this season just because of, hopefully I'm showing it on the screen. You can see perhaps why I think it might be the good trash anime of the season. And last but not least, we have Oyasama Ranking. This is Ranking of the Kings. This is Wit Studios' 10th anniversary. I know you guys know, if you've been here long enough, that I adore Wit Studios' work. I watch most of their stuff. Normally I break their stuff down. I broke down Vivi. This is a bit hit and miss. The art style is very, very different. It's childlike, and as you can see on the screen, it's not quite the Wit Studio you're used to. Childlike style of animation. We have a young boy who is apparently a coming-of-age story as well, who goes out on an adventure, who's got a shadow friend, and he's looking for the assassin clan. So it could be very interesting. I think he's a prince. He's trying to prove himself in that world. This could be the hidden gem of the season. Just because it looks fun, like Made in Abyss, that art style took a while for people to get used to. This could be the one of the season that people don't expect or we overlook, and it could essentially be the hidden gem of the season. So I'm keeping an eye on you because I love Wit to pieces. But that is it for the off non-YouTube releases. We are now going to go into the videos that you've perhaps maybe been waiting for. These are the anime, the top of the season that I think you're going to love. This is the YouTube releases. The 5.5 anime I am now about to tell you guys are the ones I'm going to bring you in breakdown form. These are the animes that I will be breaking down every single week with you guys, and I really hope that one of the 5 on the list is something that you're going to be watching and you're going to join me for. Let's take a look at what I consider perhaps the big hype names of the season and the ones that I think I am going to love to pieces. There's one on here that I've been waiting for this for a while, and I really hope that somebody in the audience comes and joins me for those breakdowns. Let's move on to the YouTube breakdown list. First things first, let's go with the one which is continued. Aquatope on White Sands continues. That is still on Wednesdays. Nothing changes. that's still going to be my little miniature breakdowns of those guys. Not too bad. I'm really enjoying that one. Just a nice little light breakdown. Next up, I wasn't sure if I was gonna. I guess with that, most of you guys know what this next one is. It is 86 Season 2. I know I got a lot of slack last season, but I'm going to continue, but I'm going to do it slightly different now. I'm going to do a bit more of a lighter review, almost in the same style as Aquatope, hopefully not too heavy, but I know 86 gets really heavy and everyone's telling me that Season 2 is big, so it's probably just going to be a full review anyway, because I find there's a lot of stuff that I like reviewing, like composition and symbology. That comes back on October the 2nd, a Saturday. The next anime I'm about to tell you also comes out on a Saturday. There's only one clash. This is the only clash I've got this season. It's not too bad. It's slightly heavier because there's too much I want to talk about. With that only being 86 clashing with the next one, it's not too bad. So the one which is clashing with 86 coming out September the 25th, Saturday, Blue Period. Now this one is very interesting because I've seen a fair bit about it. The artwork looks really nice, and talking about art, this is an anime about art. It is a slice of life. I plan to do a smallish review on this, try not to do too much in the way of burning out, but it looks very interesting. It looks visually good. I don't really know much more about the fact that it's just about art. I know, was it Picasso who went through a blue period? Some artists go through periods where they'll use a certain colour. The artist in me is screaming, and the colour theory girl inside me is screaming as well, because blue can be a colour of calm, it can be a nice gentle colour, or a colour of loneliness, depression, and many much more. It's a very deep colour. I am also getting my hair dyed blue next week because blue is fantastic. So I'm very excited to see what Blue Period has to hold, and hopefully some of you guys will be joining me on that journey. So let's talk about the one that I adore. I don't think many of you are going to be here with me. This is also a Season 2. This is Isekai Shokudan. This is the restaurant in another world. I'm a big slice of life lover, guys, and I love food anime. Food anime is my go-to, and the restaurant in another world was my big thing. It really was my big thing when it came out, and obviously I didn't have the channel back then. This airs October the 1st on Friday. And of course, it is the second season. This is an anime set in another world, but they serve human food. It is a guilty pleasure. I will plan to do this in a bit of a noodle bite form, so a very small review that I'll probably just talk about what food we're talking about in that episode and the character that we have in the episode 2. Generally, it's one character will arrive at a restaurant and we'll talk about their history a little bit, or we'll talk about what they're going through, and the restaurant owner will make them a dish based on that. So I am very, very excited to see where that's going to go. And I'm just really excited just to see it coming back. I never expected there'd be a Season 2. I love this anime to pieces. I really hope that somebody out there is also going to join me and also loves this anime because it's amazing. And if you want to see what the hype is about with me, why don't you check out Season 1 whilst you are waiting for the switchover. Next up, which I think we're going to end on the two big ones. I think most people are expecting these two, to be fair. First up, we have Tamako Destiny, which is the Mappa Madhouse big release, October the 5th, Tuesday. Music is basically banned in this world. It's set in America in 2047, so we're in the future, a bit more sci-fi-ish. The visuals look beautiful. I'm just going to have as many visuals on screen as possible. This looks gorgeous. This really does. Our second main character, he has one arm, and he's able to, with some powers, which I really hope are explained, he can summon an arm, and he has a baton, and he composes, and he's conducting music, which is very interesting. That kind of visual on its own looks beautiful. I know Mappa released this, and everything went mad, and they released a lot of different exciting things, because obviously they're also handling Attack on Titan's final season as well. Lots of big things came out of Mappa this year. Mappa really delivering in the sense of the quality. I really expect good things from this because Madhouse is also a really good studio. It's got monsters. I guess we're going to be fighting the idea of the music ban on the world, finding out why there's a ban on music. There's a few other animes out there where music is banned. So I'm very excited to see how this goes. Everything looks gorgeous. I want to cosplay from it. I've got to stop looking at this point because I've got too much to do. But let's move on to the final one. This is Platinum, end October the 7th on Thursday. This is the one that I think a lot of people are talking about. It's got a very highly anticipated score right now. This is by the Death Note creators. That is why there is a really big hype on this one. Basically, our MC wants to end it all. So they live a really down life. They try to end it all. But when he jumps from the rooftop, he meets an angel and then the plot goes on. It's supposed to be a thriller. Whether it's going to be anywhere on the same level as Death Note, I don't know. Artwork looks the same. If you look at some of these artwork pictures, you might be able to see the guy with the blue hair looks like L, and the guy with the white hair looks a bit like Light, a little bit like Light. Whether it's going to be a rehash, maybe not. Death Note came out many, many years ago. It is a solid classic. If you are new to anime and you found me somehow, which is probably unlikely, check out Death Note at some point. It is almost a gateway now. It's almost a rite of passage to watch Death Note. So I really hope that they've done something completely new. This is a bit different from Death Note, but I hope it carries some of those undertones. So those are my 5.5 anime I'm going to be breaking down on my channel, but giving you guys weekly reviews, weekly videos. There's a lot of smaller ones on here, so I'm hoping to have it light. There's so much coming out and I'm really excited for the next season. So what animes are you guys looking forward to? What ones are you watching as well? Will you be joining me on any of the breakdowns for next season? Thank you guys so much for your support. Hello, if you are new, please do subscribe. Let's go into this next season together. We're heading for Halloween as well, so there's some nice horror anime coming out this next season. Very excited, and we're also building for winter. Winter's going to be a big one. Miniature storm before the big storm. I am very excited to see what's going to happen in winter, but this season has my full attention. Very excited to finally get some new anime on the go. Really felt like I needed something new. This season is done. Summer is gone. Let's move into fall now, guys. Thank you so much. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves. Stay creative, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye, guys.